Hi everyone, it's Suzanne here with a deep stretch video for you. And I'm going to work a little bit today on some tight hamstrings and IT bands. I'm going to use the assistance of some blocks. You can use books as well, anything that's going to help you on a sturdy surface support yourself. So I'm going to take the blocks and put them somewhere close to the front of the mat so we can start working on forward folds. So find yourself on a steady, comfortable surface about hip distance apart, and you can do a few rock back and forth onto your heels and balls of your feet a few times. So soften in the knees as much as you're needing to if your hamstrings are tight. So inhale, sweep the arms up, take up space, so spread through the fingers, gaze up if it's comfortable. And then exhale, bring that back down. So again, inhale, open up, sweep up, exhale, this time sigh it out. Relax through the jaw. 2 more times with this. Inhale, open, exhale right back down. So this last time, as you inhale and open up, as you exhale, start to hinge forward. So hinge right here at the hips, bend in the knees as much as you need to, hinging forward. And I'm going to have my hands catch on blocks. So my gaze is right at the front of my mat. I'm gently just stretching right in the mid-back, getting a stretch as well in my calves, behind my knees, my hamstrings. Breathing here. Two more breaths here. Every exhale, maybe you feel a little bit of letting go. One more nice breath here. Exhale. Soften in the knees and inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale right back down. So we'll do that again. Inhale, opening up, and then exhale, pour that right over. I felt a little bit more release, so I'm going to take the blocks to a lower position. You can have your hands on your shins or completely on the floor. So it's like there was a string at the crown of your head pulling you onto the other side. It's really tight. Let that breath escape through a softened jaw. Releasing some of that. Two more breaths here. Last breath. And then exhale, I'm going to fold. I'm going to hinge at the hips. I'm going to widen my feet a little bit wider. So I'm going to let my upper body rest on my thighs. And you can keep your hands on blocks or you can bring them to the earth. Clasp your elbows, whatever you need to do just to kind of let this go. Nod in the head, yes and no. So you feel that elongating in the neck and the spine. And then from here, I'm just going to start to move my knees one at a time. And then I'm going to draw the belly button in towards spine, soften in the knees, weight more in the heels. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, right back down. So for a moment, pick up your feet. Kind of move out maybe some energy, releasing a little bit more tightness. And then we're going to go ahead and bring ourselves onto our hands and knees in tabletop position. And I keep the blocks handy because I'm going to do a deeper hamstring stretch. But let's first release a little bit in the back. Cat-cow. So you're about stacked, shoulders over, wrists, knees over, hips. You can tuck the toes if you'd like. Soften in the elbows and release your core down. Chin can come up just a little bit. Breathing into this. And take the tops of the feet, press them down. Draw the belly button in towards spine. Let the chin come in towards the chest. So we'll flow back and forth between these two. Be here for about 7 breaths. So give your body what it needs. You can do a few tail wags side to side. Just keep that beautiful breath flowing. Few more times. And then come on up. Bring your torso upright. Take your wrists. Just start to circle out your wrists. You can sit back on your heels. If you want to get a little bit more of a quad stretch while we're doing this, just a quick release of the wrists. Other direction. And take your fingers, bring them into a fist. Tighten everything in, pull everything in. Breath as well. Suspend the breath and exhale, sigh it out. Relax, stretch the fingers wide. You open and close. And come back, and we're going to bring our right foot forward. So make sure that your knee is not going over your toes. You might want to scoot the back knee a little bit in this half splits pose. And I'm going to use my blocks on either side. So first I'm going to go ahead and just shift the weight forward, let the hips settle. Shoulders come down. Breathe into this. And you want to pad that back knee if you're having some knee issues. So take this with however you're feeling today, to the depth of what you're feeling, as long as you're not feeling any pain. Kind of opening that channel of breath, releasing some tightness. And then we're going to shift the weight back. Toes are going to come up. So you're going to keep those toes active. And then you're just going to hinge, just like we hinged forward. So flat back. So I'm keeping still a soften in the knees. I have really tight hamstrings. Let my hands catch the blocks. So breathing here, kind of working through some tightness. Keep those toes active, pinky toe, all of those toes pulled back. And breathe through this, get through some of the tightness. If you ever need to come out of it, just put a bend back in the knee. A few more breaths here. And that straightened leg, I'm just going to kind of drag it back a bit. And I'm going to let the toes, the pinky toe side, fall out to the right. And I have the block here to help assist me. This is going to work on the IT band in the outer part of your hips. So you want to turn over that leg. So if it's really tight, you're going to notice this right away. And then the back of the knee. Breathe here. If you need to adjust, maybe take the block or book into an upper, higher position. Keep those toes pulled back, breathing into that area. This intense stretch. Really oh so good for that IT band and outer part of the hip. 3 more breaths here. You got this. Beautiful. Go ahead and put a bend back in that knee. I might go ahead and bring that leg back. So a few cat-cow, just to kind of recalibrate, set everything back up again. Cow pose at this moment might feel good. Drop a softened belly. Relax the jaw. And then tuck the chin in. And you can move side to side, whatever feels good for you. Sigh it out, let it go. Again, circle the wrist, give it direction, fist, open and close the fingers, releasing anything tightness. So bring the left leg forward, or the other leg if you started on the other side. So just adjust accordingly. Maybe adjust that knee back a bit, pat it out if you're feeling some discomfort. And as long as that knee is not going over the toes, let the weight sink down. Soften the shoulders. Invite some beautiful breaths here. And so shift that weight back, bring those toes up, straighten that leg. This side could be completely different. So you're just going to honor whatever it is we're feeling. Inhale here, exhale, hinge. So hinge, hinge forward. I'm going to use that assistance, just pulling the toes back. Pinky toe side of the foot too, pulling that back, keeping that leg active. Breathing into this. Every exhale, maybe you feel just a little bit of softening and opening. 3 more breaths here. Don't worry, you got this. Back off if it's a little too much. So that straightened leg, kind of drag it back about an inch, inch and a half. Let that pinky toe side of that foot fall out. So again, I'm still using the assistance of the block. And I'm turning my weight over towards that leg. And I'm meeting a lot of resistance on this side. So I'm just going to gently breathe into it. I'm not forcing anything. Keep that foot as active as you can, comfortably so. More breaths here. Beautiful. Bend back in that knee. Bring that leg back. So we're going to make a transition onto our bellies. Moving those blocks aside, all the way down. Just for a moment, Stack your hands, bend your knees. You can rest your forehead on your stacked hands, windshield wiper side to side. So tops of the feet press firmly down. Take your hands, bring them fingers pointed towards the front of the mat, right underneath your shoulders. Your elbows are by your side. We'll do a few baby cobras. So legs active, toes pressed down, kneecaps engaged, quads engaged. As you inhale, peel the chest up. Doesn't have to be far. And then exhale, slowly come back down. So we'll flow with that a few times. Stretching in the back, building some strength. Keeping those legs active. So this last time, see if you can hang here in this. Shoulders back, strong back, chest, heart shining through. 2 more breaths. You got this. Beautiful. Come down, stack the hands, bend the knees side to side, sway side to side. Beautiful. So press your palms in, bring yourself again up to kneeling. Now, if kneeling is not comfortable, come to seated. Either of those will work. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take seated, but I'm going to use a prop. I'm going to use a cushion to prop up my hips. So we're going to open up in the shoulders. And I'm also going to use a makeshift strap. So whatever's comfortable for you, you can stay on your knees, or you can just come down seated. If you're using a cushion, settle yourself down. So we'll start with a few shoulder rotations. Let's take our hands, place them gently on our shoulders. So bring your elbows up, elbows back, elbows down. So you can start this small circle rotation. And if you feel comfortable, start to widen it as you feel that stretch in your chest and the shoulders. Then wherever you're at for a moment, pause and go in the other direction. And release that down. I'm going to take the assistance of a strap, a tie, a belt, anything for this to open it up in the shoulders. So you're a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart on your grip. And on an inhale, bring that up. So connect with where that rubber band tightness is at. Usually doesn't take much before you connect with it. Breathe into it and then slowly come back down. Inhale, fill up, bring that back. Exhale down. Inhale. Deep inhale, feel the rib cage. And then exhale, let it go. So this next time, see if you can keep that up. Connect with that tightness, breathing into it. Fill up your belly. Exhale out through the mouth. It's really tight. And then we're just gently going to sway over to one side. It doesn't have to be a big movement. A little sway. Back to center. Other side. Back up. Head over to the other side again. Maybe this time go a little bit deeper. And back up. Other side. Nice. And then slow motion. Bring that all the way down. So go ahead and just kind of shake that out. Sigh it out. Move the shoulders a few times. Other direction. Depends on how tight you are feeling in that area. We're going to go ahead and come back again onto our hands and knees. If that's comfortable for you. You want to pad out the knees if you need to. We're going to do a calf stretch. We're going to take our right leg back. So put your weight back into that calf. Sometimes, a lot of times, with our tight hamstrings, we have tight calves as well. Breathing into that. And then switch sides. Just putting that weight back. Releasing a little bit of that tightness, tension. And then this time, come all the way to seated. So we're going to do seated pigeon pose to release a little bit more on the hips area. So straighten your left leg out. Bring your right ankle with that flexed foot above that left knee. As long as there's not any pressure, you don't want anything on your knees. You put a bend in that left leg. So it depends on how tight you are feeling in the glutes in the IT band as you bend that knee. That right leg is going to come in towards you. So just breathing into that. So you just gauge how it feels, how deep you want to go in this big stretch is how bent that straightened leg is. You try to keep that leg that's towards your chest, that foot flexed. Breathe here. Deep breaths. Sigh it out. It's really tight. Use your hands as kind of tripoding, propping up your body. 2 more breaths here. Oh, I really feel it today in this area. Good. Bend, straighten that back leg. Release that leg that was up on top. Shake it out. Massage in any areas that are really tight. So we'll see how it is on the other side. Flexed foot above the knee, as long as it's not on the knee. Use that. I had my hands facing, fingers facing forward. I'm going to take my fingers and face them away this time as I put a bend in that knee, that straightened leg. Keeping that foot flexed. So meet that resistance, or meet that tightness, and then just breathe into it. Soften that space. Sometimes it helps to close your eyes, to go inward. Go ahead. Few more breaths here. And then slowly come out of that. Kind of move side to side. Just going to do one more stretch that really feels good. You're gonna have to come up to standing. So bringing yourself back upright. And take a wide side straddle, as wide as you comfortably can. Bend in the knees if it's really tight in your hamstrings. Your toes are facing forward. Hands on hips, inhale here, exhale, hinge. So that same hinging forward. And again, if you want to use the assistance blocks or props, you're welcome to. But again, when we started with that forward fold, you're just going to bring that crown of your head like someone was pulling it to the other side of the room, feeling this deep stretch. Feel it still in your back. Feel it in the back of your hamstrings and knee. Breathing here. So I'm going to turn my toes out a little bit and honoring anything with the knees. I'm going to take my hands to the left knee, bending there, and then I'm just going to go side to side, left to right, not forcing anything, kind of flowing with us. A few more times. And toes more forward, hands on hips, inhale, bringing that back up. And then just kind of shaking that all out. Okay, all right, I hope that helped, opening up some channeling of tightness that you're feeling anywhere. And I thank you for